The Little Mermaid, Ariel and the Whale Song by Hannah Eliot. Ariel, cried a voice from beneath the brilliant blue water. Ariel dove down into the sea to find her friend Flounder waiting for her. Hello, Flounder, she said cheerfully. Isn't the water lovely today? Oh, you should come up to the surface. The sun feels so nice. Flounder smiled and shook his head. I think I'll stay down here, he said to Ariel. Well, we should get back to Sebastian anyway, Ariel said, pushing her red hair off of her forehead. I promised him I would sing in the concert today, and Sebastian had organized a special concert for the first day of summer. Ariel was sure that he'd be setting up for it now, and she was also sure that he would not be happy if she was late. Ariel and Flounder swim around side by side towards home. Ariel admired the beautiful coral reef as they passed it. There were always new things to discover in the ocean, she thought, and I wonder if I have time to stop by the shipwreck before... Ah! Came a shout from behind her, and Flounder was quivering and covering his eyes over his fins. Oh, Flounder, it's just a little crab, Ariel assured him, and swam over to her frightened friend. Really, there's nothing to be scared of. She peeled Flounder's fins away from his eyes as the crab scuttled away. Flounder breathed out a sigh of relief. We need to toughen you up a bit, Ariel said, gently prodding him with her elbow. She loved her friend, but even she knew he was a bit of a scaredy fish. Ariel and Flounder continued on, finally reaching Sebastian, who was leading the orchestra through one final song of the concert. Ariel wasn't that late. Why was Sebastian rushing through rehearsal? Sebastian, Ariel said with a laugh. Slow down. We have plenty of time to get ready. But, Princess, we don't, Sebastian told her. This isn't just a concert to celebrate the summer. It's a concert that we are performing for whales. The whales? Don't you know the whales are migrating through Coral Cove today? All of them. And I promised your father this concert would be timed exactly for their passing over us. Sebastian chattered on, but Ariel had stopped listening. The whales? She would love to meet a whale, but how would she even meet one if she's singing in the concert? And if this concert isn't perfect, Sebastian was saying, Ariel snapped out of her thoughts. The concert will be perfect, she assured him as she started to swim away. Where are you going? Sebastian cried. I just need to get something from my treasure grotto, Ariel said, thinking quickly. And I promise I'll be back for the concert. And with that, she swam off and Flounder followed close behind. All right, Flounder, are you ready to pick up a trip to Coral Cove? Are you ready for a quick trip to Coral Cove? Ariel asked with a sly smile. Coral Cove? But why are you going there? Flounder asked. To meet the whales, she told him. They'll never visit us at the palace, so this is my only chance. Soon they reached the edge of the reef where Coral Cove began, and Ariel felt a little nervous about entering uncharted waters. Was it her, or did it actually gotten colder? I don't see any whales here, Flounder said. Neither have I, said Ariel, slightly disappointed, and she looked around hoping to see some sort of sign, but instead of seeing a sign, she heard one. Ariel listened closely, and the noise seemed to be coming from above. The closer she listened, and the more it became more of a song. Flounder, follow me, she said excitedly as she swam quickly towards the brilliant blue light that broke through the ocean surface, and the tune was getting louder. But Flounder noticed a dark shape below them. Shadows. Ariel swam all the way to the water surface, hoping to find whatever was making the beautiful song. And she looked around and around and around and around and around and around. But she saw nothing but the great, wide, flat ocean. She frowned and disappointed. Oh, Flounder, there's nothing here, said Ariel. We need to get back to the concert soon, or Sebastian will be upset with us. Flounder? She looked around. Where had her friend gone? She dove back underneath the water, and suddenly Flounder burst in the air. It was a shark! Flounder shouted. A shark! She tried to calm her friend. Sharks don't come to the surface near Coral Cove, remember? It's too close to land for them, Ariel said, and then she gasped, but something was approaching, and it looked like a shark. So Ariel dove underneath the waves for a better look. Oh. And it came closer and closer until Ariel could make out a giant tail. But just before she could figure out what the creature was or what the tail belonged to, a giant swishing motion made an underwater wave that surrounded Ariel and Flounder and Bubbles, and the bubbles cleared. Ariel was amazed at what she saw. It was a mama whale and her baby, and they were singing. Whale song, Ariel whispered. It's beautiful, said Flounder, amazed, and they were relieved that it was not a shark. Ariel and Flounder floated around the whales for a few moments, knowing that they might never get this close again. And Ariel listened closely to the melody so that she could sing it back to them. And when the whales smiled at her and continued to sing the tune, Ariel joined in. Suddenly, the two whales were headed straight towards the ocean's surface and flew into the air. They created a beautiful arc of water when their bodies flapped against the surface of the sea, and a huge wave sent Ariel and Flounder soaring through the air. When they landed in the water, they both had to catch their breath when they burst into laughter. That was pretty fun, Flounder said with a giggle. Thanks for making me come along, Ariel. Ariel smiled, and it was an amazing afternoon, but now it was time to head home. Flounder and Ariel arrived just in time for the concert. When it was time for Ariel's solo, she decided to make a slight change. She belted out the beautiful whale song that she has learned from the mama and the baby whale. Sebastian looked at Ariel in surprise, and Ariel winked at him. As soon as she continued to sing, she could feel the water's current change, and she knew the whales were passing by. She smiled and sang even louder to celebrate the end of summer and to honor her new friends. The end.